Hello there, I'm Nick, and today I'm quickly going to go over my initial thoughts on Sonic Mania Plus. It's great. Shocking, I know. I actually got lucky and got this game a day early, which is surprising since Amazon was a few days late to deliver the Sonic Mania Collector Edition to me last year, so I ended up buying the digital version on my Xbox just so I could pretend I bought some slight variation, and because I couldn't wait 2 freaking days just to play this thing. But I got this one early and on the Switch. What I'm saying is I own 3 copies of this game. And you might notice I'm not actually showing you any recorded footage, and I'm just using the game's promotional material. That's because my Switch's power supply is literally in another state at the moment, and while I could very easily spend the $5 extra to upgrade my PS4 or Xbox One copy, I'm not really inclined to spend any more money because I have 3 copies of this game! Is it worth the $5 upgrade if you already own Mania? Well, that depends. For hardcore Sonic fans, obviously you've already purchased it and these words are wasted on you. In fact, you probably bought yourself the physical copy, even though it's $30 on its own. And yeah, sure, you already bought the special edition of the vanilla game last year, but now it comes in a shiny box with a reversible Genesis cover, even though it would make more sense to be a reversible Saturn cover. But my point is you already have 3 copies of this game. I don't need to tell the hardcore Sonic fanbase this is worth their time. Obviously this is worth your time, but I should make it absolutely clear that this is for people who love Mania and want any kind of excuse to jump back in. If you bought the original game last year because of the hype, or you wanted a quick nostalgic fix, and you rolled through the main game once and never bothered with the emeralds, I'd probably skip it. There's not much here for you to enjoy. What you get with your $5 are Mighty and Ray, 2 characters long overdue for a return to the series, one of which was never in a proper side-scrolling Sonic style game. Now, classic Sonic works because of the simplicity of the controls. You need to do everything you're capable of doing with one button and the directional pad. So I was really curious to see how these 2 would work with such limitations in place, and I'm happy to say they pulled them off quite well. I could have done without the direct correlation to Super Mario World's cape, but Ray's gliding ability works quite well, and honestly a little smoother than the plumber. Granted, none of the levels really feel designed around the mechanic, but I need to play around with the game a little bit more to get a better opinion on that. I noticed some levels forced me to use it in clever ways to reach spots I wanted to get to. Mighty seems a little better designed. He has modern Sonic's Insta-Stomp, which can ram you through certain spots in the ground, which by itself is fine, but he's also invulnerable to spikes and small projectiles in ball form. I thought it was really clever. It's hard to mess with the traversal outside of what Knuckles and Tails already provide, so adding some protection from common hazards proved very valuable in spots I gotta play as Mighty. I say spots I gotta play him because this game also comes with an Encore mode and does some things I was not expecting from this update. Instead of lives in this mode, you instead have the party of 5 playable characters to work with. That's it. You play Sonic in the returning Angel Island zone, and then you pick Ray or Mighty, and from there you will constantly have 2 characters on screen at any given time, provided you keep them alive a la Donkey Kong Country. And also like Kong, you can swap between the 2 characters with the press of a button, just so long as you're standing still. You can rescue even more characters via character monitors or the new pinball bonus stage that swaps out Blue Sphere. Now all of this comes at the sacrifice of building specific levels for specific characters, but I thought this was a really smart way to try out all of the characters without having to play through the same game 5 times over. They even provide some new monitors that randomly swap out playable characters with someone else in your roster if you have them available. It's fantastic. That system aside, the rest of Encore mode is basically New Game Plus. I get it. You get what you'd expect from such a mode. Some variations in the level layouts, and I really need to give this game a little more time, because while a lot of the levels just seem like palette swaps, and side note, Stardust Speedway's second act colored like Sonic CD's original Bad Future was a wonderful touch. Well done, guys. Anyway, yeah, while a lot of these levels feel like palette swaps, I did notice some of the levels seemed a little more challenging than before. But hey, it could have just been a bad run. I don't know, that's why this is just an initial impressions video. I also have to say it's initial impressions because so far, in my 7 attempts to get the emeralds, I currently have 0. They updated the giant ring locations and the bonus levels within, and they are hard. It's been a long time since I've been challenged by a Sonic bonus stage, so I'm excited to master these and see what they unlock. And that's about all I've tried so far. I haven't touched the multiplayer, and I need to do a really deep dive on these other tweaks and mechanics. But this is everything I noticed in my first playthrough. My first thoughts are, yeah, level transitions and new characters are pretty nice, but it's basically the same game and I'm perfectly content with that. I feel justified in my purchase. This game deserves to be on a shelf. I love the art book and the holographic cover and the Genesis art, and I love the new tweaks. Not really for what they add to this game, but because it shows me how many more ideas these guys have. They don't need to rely on callbacks or nostalgia to make a great game. They know how to not only remix what we already have, but also add to this simple gameplay style in unique and wonderful ways. A celebration of past and future is a good way of describing this game. And all that said, how great are those Sonic Mania adventure shorts? That final episode, oh my goodness. As a Metal Sonic fan, I was very happy. Nice touch with that Super Saiyan sound effect, by the way. I'm gonna do a deeper dive on the future of classic Sonic and actually all things Sonic pretty soon here. There are some interesting things I think need to be discussed. And while I did spend a lot of my original Mania review comparing this to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and I know there are some of you out there wondering if I've changed my stance on that, well, I didn't really want to use this video to take away from my enjoyment of Plus. I just wanted to run through quick and tell you how I felt. And afterwards, I'll do a deeper look. I still want to get my analysis of Sonic 3 and Knuckles and really master Mania Plus and see if that rumored DLC actually comes to pass before I do anything else. That, and I still have dinosaurs on the brain, so you're just gonna have to deal with that. But yeah, that's at least 3 separate meaty Sonic videos to look forward to. And in the meantime, please be a darling and support the channel. Liking, subscribing, bells, you know how this stuff works. If you want to help me grow, you know how to do it, and I can only do it with your help. I'll be down in the comments, so let me know how your first runs with this new content treated you. Toot toot, Sonic Warriors.